Once upon a time in Nigeria, there used to be a prophet, a genuine prophet, and he could pick things up in the spirit. He could diagnose people's conditions. He could provide solutions of wisdom. And because of that, he was most sought after. I don't know what challenges this prophet encountered, because after a while, he set up a very elaborate protocol system that you have to survive before he grants you a one-on-one interview, one-on-one ministration. So it's a three-staged protocol. You get screened from the first stage, admitted into the second stage, and you get screened from the second stage. And then the third stage is that his personal assistant comes to check your face. And if your face doesn't look like someone that should be talking to his principal, then you are disqualified. You can start again if you wish to take another shot at the opportunity. So there was this woman that joined the queue, survived the first stage, survived the second stage, and when she got to the third stage, the personal assistant did not feel her type of person should be part of those troubling the prophet. So that was how her aspiration to meet with the man of God suffered a strange loss. Once upon a time, when this prophet was traveling, he had a flat tire. So the driver was compelled to stop the car. That was not planned. When the prophet came out of the car, because they had to jack it, he was standing exactly towards the shop. That woman, her shop was across the road there. So when he stepped out, and fortunately for the woman, the personal assistant that considered her face, the configuration of her face, not worthy of an audience, was not present that day. So the woman ran to the prophet and knelt down. And while she wanted to tell the prophet her challenge, the prophet said, "Hey, stop. He said, your mother is behind your condition." She doubted, because it's her mom that used to take her from place to place to seek solution to her challenges. And in order for him to prove to her that he was not just speaking loose words, he went deeper and showed her what happened when she was 9 years old, showed her what happened when she was 15 years old, showed her what happened when she was 17 years old, and called her name that nobody knows. Before the prophet could tell him how to use the revelation he was downloading, the driver had swapped the tires. You see with me? So he went back into the car and continued his journey. And this woman was armed with revelation that she was not matured enough to handle. And those revelations became the reason for the civil war that is in that family till today. It will take Jesus' coming back from heaven to solve such problems. So Jesus knows the impact of being given revelation that you don't have capacity to bear. So instead of him trying to prove to you that he has revelations, he will keep it back, because he knows what will happen when you have access to spiritual insight that you do not have the maturity to handle. And a lot of believers are shadow boxing because they lack insight into what is behind the situation, what is behind the circumstance, what is behind a certain trouble, a certain affliction, what is behind this cyclical sickness that comes upon me again and again. There is something behind it. I've seen people that have been held captive, that for you there is no marriage. For you will never find a job. You'll be a rolling stone on the streets. I've seen people that were held through powers of darkness on one spot. Everything can happen around you, but nothing will happen with you. Now, if you are not exposed to the showings of the Holy Ghost, you might be shadow boxing. Shadow boxing is when people are fighting the wrong things because they don't know what is responsible.